Okay, an unscripted tour of the games room, and it's a complete disaster, very much work in progress, but let's just start around the corner here. So a 26-inch TV, a radio, and an Xbox debug kit not set up. A sofa complete with monkey, passed out monkey after a heavy night drinking and gaming. And this really isn't the way I want the room, but just to get as much stuff out as possible, I've got this really cheap and nasty unit here for £2 from the tip. And there's all my Sega stuff, Master System, Saturn, Genesis 3, which I picked up a couple of years ago from a visit to the States, Dreamcast and Mega Drive 2 and Sega CD setup, a CRT, the only CRT I've got left, so I can play my light gun games, and then there's the Atari 2600, and then just an utter mess of power supplies. I mean, you can imagine with just the Sega Mega Drive and CD combination alone, that requires a stupid amount of power supplies. And then we've got this monstrosity of a unit picked up from a boot sale for a couple of £. So in here we have a Laserdisc player, there's my 360, and there's an Xbox One, and of course with an Xbox One you run out of hard drive space, so I've got to plug in a bloody USB hard drive as well, so there's progression for you. And then the next level up, there's my NES with the Game Genie and I think it's Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, a Super Nintendo with Super Game Boy with an EV drive in there, fantastic combination. Really I should give the Neo Geo more, oh my god, it's dusty as well, I should really be showing this much more respect, but at least it's out and I am using it. So it's my Neo Geo with a soft modded Xbox One underneath. Neo Geo trumps Xbox, so that's probably right. There you can see the Xbox's HD pack there. I've really got to sort this out. Here's a quite rare PS3. You can see it's all black, piano black. It's the 20 gig US version, and it's backwards compatible, and it doesn't have Wi-Fi. So that's quite unusual, and the fact that it still works is also unusual. I have applied new thermal paste to it in hope that it will keep going. Just a standard Samsung monitor. Right, and now if I step back a bit, get a bit of perspective. So that is just a mess, and I'm you know, that is not the way I want anything. But at least I can play on some of the machines that I enjoy. Right, and then on this desk here we have a 32-inch TV for my modern consoles. But under here, under this tea towel, is my pride and joy. It's my Amiga 1200, complete with SNES controller. That shouldn't be there. But yeah, a lot of love for the Amiga 1200, and that's hooked up to the TV up here, rather than the big LCD. Okay, and then across the desk, it's just a mess of wires, and a Mac Mini, and my original Game Boy from the late 90s. But I've been playing the Game Boy games on the SNES instead. There's a network switch, adding to the wire chaos, so I try and wire everything, wired connection for all my machines rather than Wi-Fi. Just adds to the utter mess. Another charity shop piece of furniture, but again, it's because I moved in recently, it just gives me the opportunity to put some stuff out while I think about what I want to do. So also got some meths to get my fix of alcohol. There's a limited edition Fallout 3 sort of figurine there. Carew Castle, if you're wondering what that is, that's in Pembrokeshire. I used to live that way. 2 Lego figures I found knocking around in some of my drawers. Spitfire and the Hurricane. Hunter, that's my most favourite Amiga game ever. I must do a review on that. And if we zoom in, it's one of the few games I actually bought, and it was £9.99, which when you're 11, 12 years old is a lot of money. Okay, some shelves here. There's Lemmings for the Nintendo NES. Not originally owned, I bought it recently. Ground Zero. There's just an array of crap that I really need to sort out. The blue Game Gear, I want recapped so I can actually play it. Championship Manager 97-98, the original, the one that I owned at the time. I remember getting the bus on the day of release to get that. We have some 32X games. That's a Japanese Game Gear game with link cable. Some of my original Master System games are in here, along with a Game Gear power adapter, but unusual, I've actually got the box for it. Sega Universal, never seen that anywhere else. So it's unusual I managed to keep the box for that. My Master Gear, a lot of my original Game Gear games and original Game Gear. This one needs capping, so I actually bought this as a temporary measure to play some Game Gear stuff. So I will get the Game Gear in there recapped at some point. The original battery pack my parents got me at the time, I think that was about £30. Only lasted 2 or 3 hours. A Game Genie I've bought more recently, and then some pickups in recent times, but some of these games are my original ones. N64, a lot of my original games from the 90s in here. Again, just a mess of stuff. Some Master System games, some recent pickups and some that I had back in the day, which I used to play on the Game Gear. I didn't actually have a Master System back in the day, I used to play it through the Game Gear. And then in this lower half of the cupboard you'll see some Russian posters from a pickup of Fallout 4 from Russia recently, and the chap sent me some posters, which is fantastic, which I've just stuck here just to make the whole room continue to look ugly and game themed. And then if I go in here, 1 or 2 backup GameCubes, a lot of games that I had originally back in the GameCube days. And then there's some Sega Saturn stuff in there, a lot of it from when I did own a Saturn back in the day. So carrying on, a lot of my originally owned Sega Saturn stuff, all sorts of titles in there that I enjoyed over the years. And then going around to another mishmash of furniture. This is just 360 stuff, complete with a Villa shirt. Yes, I'm an Aston Villa fan. It's been a terrible year. I was actually sent this by the credit card company. I have a Villa credit card and they sent me that as a gift, presumably to stop me tearing up the card and going with someone else. Lego pirate ship, original, horrible sun-faded pirate ship. My Dreamcast games, original from back in the day. Again, Mega CD games from back in the day. Some 3DO stuff, more recent pickups, and then a PS Vita. Over here, just a shelf of boxed games. This is a recent pickup, Championship Manager 2 for the Amiga, which I really wanted back in the mid-90s, and thank God I didn't get it. It's atrocious. But I had moved on to the PC by then. My original Mega Drive 2 and Mega CD 1 are there, they're boxed, I don't use those. And a 32X, which I didn't have at the time. An assortment of odds and sods over here. Atari 2600 games, and just some PC stuff, and some duplicate Dreamcast games. And then this piece of furniture I picked up today, another shelf, looks like something in a library, just to display. I'll keep my original Xbox games. I haven't actually decided what I'm going to use that for yet. And there's my original N64, boxed. that's my Game Gear in the box to go off for recapping. And yeah, so there we go, just a brief. Oh, there's some Xbox One games. Again, this whole place is just a mess. Oh, a Nightmare Mug. Now that's one of my prized pickups. That is an original Nightmare Mug. One of the producers was selling it on a car boot sale. I did have two, my wife broke one of them, but that was from a boot sale from one of the producers that I picked up in the Norwich car boot sale. Fantastic. And yeah, as you can see, just an unscripted tour of where we're at in 2016, and hopefully I will make this look better over the coming months and years.